Ladies and gentlemen, pleasure is often seen as the ultimate goal in life, something to be pursued and enjoyed without question. It is painted as the pinnacle of human experience, the reward for effort and the escape from suffering. But what if this pleasure, which seems so enticing, is actually an illusion? One that keeps us trapped in a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. What if, instead of bringing true fulfillment, it weakens our resolve, distracts us from meaningful pursuits, and leaves us emptier than before? When we indulge in fleeting pleasures, we often convince ourselves that we are simply enjoying life. However, what we fail to recognize is that these moments of gratification do not exist in isolation. Every indulgence comes with a cost. What begins as a harmless habit soon becomes a compulsion, and before we know it, we are no longer in control. We tell ourselves that we can stop any time, but the truth is that the more we give in to pleasure, the stronger its grip on us becomes. The illusion is that we are making a choice, when in reality, we are being led by our impulses. Much like a puppet whose strings are pulled by forces beyond its understanding, there is a deceptive nature to pleasure that hides its consequences. The initial rush of gratification feels good, perhaps even necessary, but it is fleeting. The moment it fades, it leaves behind a void, a sense of emptiness that compels us to seek it again. This cycle repeats itself endlessly, making us chase pleasure not because it truly fulfills us, but because we have conditioned ourselves to rely on it for comfort. What we perceive as happiness is often just the temporary relief from the discomfort that pleasure itself has created. The more we feed this craving, the more it grows, and the harder it becomes to break free. True fulfillment does not come from indulging in every desire, but from mastering them. The mind that is disciplined, the person who is in control of their urges, experiences a different kind of satisfaction, one that is not dependent on external stimulation. When we resist the pull of fleeting pleasures, we cultivate strength, clarity, and self-respect. We begin to realize that pleasure in its purest form is not something to be chased, but something that arises naturally when we live in alignment with our values and purpose. One of the greatest dangers of unchecked pleasure-seeking is that it dulls our senses and weakens our will. When we constantly give in to impulse, we lose the ability to endure discomfort, to push through challenges, and to strive for something greater. We become passive, reactive, and easily swayed by temptation. In contrast, those who exercise self-restraint develop an inner fortitude that allows them to pursue meaningful goals with focus and determination. They understand that true joy is found not in mindless indulgence, but in the mastery of the self. The illusion of pleasure is that it promises happiness, while quietly robbing us of our strength, our time, and our potential. It is only when we see through this illusion that we can begin to reclaim our power and direct our energy towards something truly worthwhile. Energy is the fundamental force that drives all human action. It is the fuel behind every thought, decision, and achievement. Without energy, even the most ambitious goals remain unattainable, and even the sharpest minds become dull. Every great leader, thinker, and creator in history has understood the value of conserving and directing their energy wisely. Yet, in the modern world, many people squander their energy on meaningless distractions, fleeting pleasures, and unproductive habits, failing to realize that once it is wasted, it cannot be regained. The way we use our energy determines the quality of our lives, our level of success, and our ability to overcome challenges. Many people believe they have an infinite supply of energy, acting as though they can afford to waste it on things that bring no real value. However, energy is not unlimited. It is a resource that must be managed carefully, just like time or money. When we engage in habits that drain us, whether it is excessive indulgence, procrastination, or mindless entertainment, we deplete our reserves without gaining anything in return. Worse still, we condition ourselves to rely on these distractions as a source of stimulation, leading to cycles of fatigue and dissatisfaction. Instead of using our energy to build, create, or grow, we dissipate it in ways that leave us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Every action we take requires energy, and every decision about how we spend that energy shapes our future. Some activities replenish and strengthen us. Physical exercise, meaningful work, intellectual pursuits, and deep conversations. Others weaken us. Overindulgence, mindless entertainment, gossip, and self-destructive habits. The key to a strong and focused life is learning to distinguish between the two and choosing to invest energy only in what truly matters. Those who succeed in life are not necessarily more talented or intelligent than others. They simply use their energy more effectively. They understand that energy is a currency, and they refuse to spend it on anything that does not bring them closer to their goals. The most dangerous aspect of energy wastage is that it weakens not only the body, but also the mind and spirit. When people engage in habits that drain their vitality, they often find themselves lacking motivation, discipline, and mental clarity. They struggle to focus, feel constantly fatigued, and lose the drive to improve themselves. Over time, they become passive, allowing life to dictate their path rather than taking control of their own destiny. This is why discipline is essential. When we choose to conserve our energy and channel it into productive efforts, we experience a transformation. Our minds become sharper, our bodies stronger, and our willpower unshakable. Every day we are faced with a choice: to waste our energy on meaningless distractions or to direct it towards something meaningful. Those who recognize the value of their energy and guard it fiercely are the ones who achieve greatness. They do not allow themselves to be drained by impulses or trivial pursuits. Instead, they focus their energy on growth, purpose, and self-mastery, ensuring that every action they take brings them closer to the life they truly desire. Self-control is often viewed as a restriction, something that limits enjoyment and makes life more difficult. However, the truth is the opposite. Self-control is the foundation of true freedom. Without it, we become slaves to our impulses, desires, and external influences, constantly reacting to whatever tempts us in the moment. A person who lacks self-control may believe they are doing what they want, but in reality they are being controlled by their urges. True freedom comes not from giving in to every desire, but from mastering those desires and choosing our actions with intention. When we develop self-control, we gain the ability to make decisions based on logic, reason, and long-term goals, rather than fleeting emotions or temptations. Consider someone who cannot resist junk food. They may feel free because they eat whatever they want, whenever they want. But if they lack the discipline to stop, they become trapped in unhealthy habits, leading to poor health and a lack of energy. Their short-term pleasure turns into long-term suffering. On the other hand, a person who exercises self-control and eats mindfully is not restricted but empowered. They have the freedom to live a healthy life, unburdened by sickness or fatigue. The same principle applies to every aspect of life. A person without self-control in their spending habits may enjoy shopping impulsively, but they will eventually find themselves burdened by debt and financial stress. A person who cannot control their emotions may lash out in anger, damaging relationships and losing opportunities. In contrast, someone who practices self-control in their finances ensures a stable future. Someone who controls their emotions earns respect and maintains meaningful relationships. In every case, the person who masters themselves gains true freedom, while the one who lacks discipline becomes imprisoned by their own habits and circumstances. Many people assume that self-control requires suppressing desires entirely, but that is not the case. It is about managing desires rather than being managed by them. It means understanding that pleasure is not inherently bad, but that indulging in pleasure without discipline leads to weakness. Self-control allows us to enjoy life more fully because it enables us to engage in things that truly matter, rather than being distracted by empty temptations. It gives us the power to delay gratification, focus on long-term goals, and build a life of meaning, rather than chasing momentary pleasure. Mastery over oneself is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. It strengthens the mind, builds confidence, and allows us to navigate life with purpose. It is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stuck in cycles of mediocrity. Every time we choose discipline over impulse, we become stronger. Every time we resist temptation in favor of something more meaningful, we move closer to true freedom. Self-control is not a burden. It is the key that unlocks our fullest potential, giving us the ability to live life on our own terms rather than being ruled by fleeting desires. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation, reward, and pleasure. It plays a crucial role in our ability to pursue goals, experience joy, and stay engaged in activities that are meaningful. However, in today's world, dopamine has become a silent saboteur, hijacking our brains and leading us into cycles of addiction, distraction, and dissatisfaction. The modern environment is filled with artificial sources of dopamine: social media, video games, junk food, and instant gratification, all designed to give us quick bursts of pleasure with little to no effort. The more we indulge in these easy rewards, the more we train our brains to crave them, making it harder to focus on tasks that require patience and discipline. Dopamine was never meant to be triggered so frequently or intensely. In the past, it was a mechanism that helped humans survive. It motivated early humans to hunt, gather food, and seek shelter. When they succeeded in these efforts, dopamine was released, reinforcing the behavior. However, in the modern world where rewards are available at the click of a button, we no longer have to work hard for gratification. Instead, we are constantly bombarded with artificial sources of dopamine that require no real effort. Scrolling through endless feeds, binge-watching shows, consuming processed foods, or indulging in other habits that provide immediate pleasure. The problem with this constant stimulation is that it desensitizes the brain. The more we engage in instant dopamine hits, the more we require to feel the same level of satisfaction. Activities that once brought joy, such as reading, exercising, or having deep conversations, start to feel boring in comparison. This is because the brain adapts to the high levels of stimulation and begins to crave only the most intense sources of pleasure. As a result, people become less motivated to pursue long-term goals, as they no longer feel the same level of reward from hard work and persistence. Instead, they gravitate toward the easiest sources of pleasure, reinforcing the cycle of distraction and procrastination. Another dangerous effect of excessive dopamine stimulation is its impact on focus and attention span. With constant exposure to short bursts of pleasure, the brain becomes wired for instant rewards and struggles to engage in deep work or complex problem solving. This is why many people find it difficult to read a book for long periods, focus on studying, or work on projects that require patience. Their brains have been trained to seek quick rewards, making it nearly impossible to stay engaged in activities that don't offer immediate gratification. To regain control, it is essential to break free from the cycle of overstimulation. Reducing reliance on artificial dopamine sources and engaging in activities that require effort, such as exercise, meditation, creative work, or learning new skills, helps restore balance. When dopamine is used correctly, it becomes a powerful tool for motivation rather than a source of endless distraction. By taking control of this silent saboteur, we reclaim our ability to focus, stay disciplined, and find fulfillment in real accomplishments rather than fleeting pleasures. Greatness is not given, it is earned. It is the result of relentless dedication, unshakable discipline, and most importantly, sacrifice. Whether in business, sports, art, or personal development, those who rise above the rest do so because they are willing to give up comfort, distractions, and momentary pleasures for something greater. Sacrifice is the foundation of excellence, the bridge between where we are and where we want to be. Many people admire success, but fail to recognize the sacrifices behind it. They see the champion holding the trophy, the billionaire enjoying financial freedom, the artist being celebrated, but they do not see the years of unseen effort. They do not see the early mornings, the late nights, the failures, and the relentless discipline required to reach the top. The truth is, those who achieve greatness are not necessarily more talented or gifted than others. They simply choose to prioritize their long-term goals over short-term gratification. While others indulge in distractions, they stay focused. While others seek comfort, they embrace struggle. One of the greatest obstacles to success is the unwillingness to let go of immediate pleasure. Many people want to be fit but refuse to sacrifice junk food and laziness. They want financial success but are unwilling to give up unnecessary spending and bad habits. They want deep relationships but are unwilling to sacrifice their ego and selfishness. Greatness requires making tough choices, choosing discipline over indulgence, patience over urgency, and persistence over ease. It is not a single moment of sacrifice, but a daily commitment to doing what is necessary, even when it is difficult. Sacrifice also tests character. It reveals who is truly committed and who is merely interested. Anyone can start a journey towards success, but only those willing to endure hardship will reach their destination. The path to greatness is filled with obstacles, failures, and setbacks. Those who are unwilling to sacrifice comfort often turn back at the first sign of difficulty, while those who embrace sacrifice push forward, knowing that every hardship is shaping them into something stronger. Sacrifice is not just about giving things up. It is about trading the ordinary for the extraordinary. When we sacrifice distractions, we gain focus. When we sacrifice comfort, we build resilience. When we sacrifice ease, we develop strength. Every act of self-discipline, every moment of pushing through discomfort, is an investment in a greater future. Those who achieve greatness understand that every sacrifice brings them closer to their vision. The question is not whether sacrifice is necessary, it is whether we are willing to pay the price. The world does not hand out success freely. It only rewards those who are willing to work for it. If we truly desire greatness, we must embrace the sacrifices that come with it. Only then will we rise above mediocrity and achieve what others only dream of. True strength is not merely physical power or the ability to dominate others. It is an unshakable force that comes from within. It is the ability to endure hardships, control emotions, and stay disciplined in the face of temptation. Many believe that strength is about overpowering obstacles, but in reality, it is about mastering oneself. The strongest people are not those who never struggle, but those who refuse to give up, no matter how difficult the path becomes. Strength is built through challenge, and only those who are willing to face adversity can truly cultivate it. The journey to true strength is not easy. It requires resilience, patience, and the willingness to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term growth. Many people want to be strong, but few are willing to do what is necessary to develop that strength. They avoid discomfort, seeking the easiest path instead of the right one. However, true strength does not come from a life of ease. It is forged in the fires of discipline, hardship, and perseverance. Every great individual in history has faced obstacles, failures, and doubts, yet their ability to rise above those difficulties is what set them apart. Mental and emotional strength are just as important as physical strength. A person who is physically strong but mentally weak will crumble under pressure, while someone with mental toughness can overcome even the most challenging situations. This is why true strength is built through self-control, patience, and the ability to face hardships without being consumed by them. It is easy to react emotionally, to become frustrated, to quit when things get hard, but those who cultivate true strength remain steady, no matter the circumstances. They do not allow emotions to control their actions. Instead, they use their mind to navigate challenges with clarity and wisdom. Discipline is one of the most important aspects of strength. Without discipline, even the most talented individuals will never reach their full potential. Strength is not about waiting for motivation to strike. It is about acting with purpose, even when motivation is absent. The strongest people wake up early, train when they do not feel like it, study when they are tired, and continue working toward their goals even when progress is slow. This unwavering commitment to discipline is what separates the strong from the weak. Another key component of true strength is the ability to stand alone. Many people rely on external validation, seeking approval from others to feel confident. But true strength comes from within. It does not depend on the opinions of others. Those who walk the path of strength do not conform to what is easy or popular. They follow their own principles, even if it means standing alone. They understand that strength is not about pleasing others, but about remaining true to their values, no matter the cost. True strength is a lifelong journey. It is not something that can be achieved overnight, nor is it something that can be faked. It is built through effort, hardship, and unwavering dedication. Only those who embrace the struggles of life rather than running from them will discover the immense power that lies within. True strength is not something given. It is something earned through perseverance, discipline, and an unshakable commitment to growth. It is not found in moments of ease, but in the struggles we overcome, the temptations we resist, and the challenges we endure. Those who seek true strength must be willing to face adversity head-on. to rise each time they fall, and to walk their own path, even when it is difficult. In the end, strength is not about what we can lift or how we appear to others. It is about the power we hold within, the ability to stand firm in the face of hardship, and the unwavering resolve to become the best version of ourselves.